Hello and Sunny Bonani. Do hope that you can now see and feel and experience this race live from Qatar. We seem to have been having slight issues going completely live with you. But yes, I do see that this stream is live. So thank you very much. If you've just joined us, Billy Hendricks tops the timesheets with about 13 and a half minutes of this session to go. As you can see, he has set a 1 minute 22.241. Tepiso, second quickest from Man Ray, who occupies that current P3 spot. If you're brand new to Formula One, the aim of the game is very simple. You send that car around the track as fast as you possibly can. And so far, Tindo's best time is a 1 minute 23.037, which is the third quickest as things currently stand. Tiago Maestro, last night's race winner. The Nuccio, a superstar of this playoff series, yet to set their representative time, still within the pits. Tindo is under pressure. This represents his only opportunity to collect points. He raced in Austria. He crashed out. He could not join the race last night, meaning he has 0 points at this particular point of the playoff series, and, is under the most pressure. He's going to have to hope, number one, for other drivers to crash out, and he's going to need an absolute miracle, perhaps even a race win. But can he do it? He has 12 and a half minutes at the very least to qualify as high up the grid as he possibly can. And, from there on out, we will see whether or not Tindo can put something special together. If you click on our channel icon, you will note that the Tier 2 playoff race is also currently underway. Zotao on commentary over there. But thank you for choosing BrakeAway Racing League as we will be watching BrakeAway Racing League. The rest of qualifying is coming soon, so do make sure you do stay tuned. Tiago Maestro has seen at this particular point that the benchmark is 1 minute 22.241. All right, what can Tiago do is the question that we're going to be watching very, very, very closely. 11 and a half minutes of this session to go. Race-winning Tiago from last night is here to tackle the Lusail International Circuit. On board we go with the superstar McLaren driver, who would be a challenger to all of the names on the top tier BrakeAway Racing League. As you can see, he is very, very circumspect. Was heavy on the brakes there through turn number 1, and we'll make sure that you have all the necessary information here to see exactly how he is faring. Tindo is going to crash out and switch off his PlayStation, so says Mandla in the comment section. Well, Romeo Mandla, not Tindo's biggest fan as things currently stand. Tiago Maestro has a Sector 1 split in the 27 seconds. Will it be enough to give Billy Hendricks a lot of headaches before this session is said and done? Stay tuned, folks. There's still a lot of action, a lot of racing still to come. This is Tiago Maestro tackling the middle sector of this track. He's on the verge of completing Sector 2. We'll get a sense of what that benchmark is like. And, of course, we'll pay close eyes to see what the neutral can do in response. Sector 2 split of a 54.8. So that is a benchmark to watch very, very closely. He's taking so much of the curves as Tiago Maestro, using all of the limits of the track, but still careful not to invalidate his lap. 10 minutes of the session to go. Here comes Tiago Maestro. Let's go to Piso, says Romeo, a.k.a. Madla, in the comment section. Cheering on the Ferrari driver in the comments. Are you cheering on Piso? Let us know in the comments. Tiago Maestro is sending it towards the line. Will it be a quickest time of the day? No. It's only third quickest. 1 minute 22.749 is the best that Tiago can do as that initial push lap. So 9 minutes. Folks, if you're brand new to Formula One, the aim of the game in qualifying is to go as fast as you can. The faster the time, the higher your position at the start of the race. So Tiago currently third quickest, provisional P3. The Nuccio, who gave us one of the most sensationally entertaining battles last night, has a Sector 2 split of 55.713 seconds. What will Sector 3 be here in Qatar? Oh no, he's invalidated coming on the exit of that particular corner, and now is going to have to bide his time. And as he sends it towards the final couple of corners, it is, not so smooth sailing for the Nuccio. Sadly, we'll see whether or not it can be better. He's going to have to send it all the way around once again but the Nucho is just going to have to bide his time. So a late invalidation, pretty deep into the Nucho's lap. Tindo with a second bite of the cherry, now making his way towards turns 2 and 3. There's a slow-moving car down the main straight. Yellow flag, as you can see, down in the track map on the bottom right of your screen, but that yellow flag has been cleared, so the track is clear. This is Tindo absolutely sending it through the double sequence of right-hand turns. Here it comes. He completes his Sector 1, improving by almost 7/100ths of a second. So Tindo looking good, but not quite good enough to challenge even the top 2 drivers, whose times are in the 1 minute 22s. Tindo is languishing with a time of a 1 minute 23.037. Currently 5th quickest. The Nucho has yet to challenge Tindo to show what he is made of at this particular point in time. Here comes Tindo with 8 minutes of this session to go. He's managed to find almost 7/10ths of a second come the end of the second sector. So Tindo putting it together here in sectors 2, possibly 3. As you can see, he's taking all of the track limits, almost invalidated there in the same manner that Nucho did. But Tindo has kept his lap clean, kept his lap green, kept his lap valid. Now has taken the final corner and is sending it punching, screaming down the main straight towards the line. 1 minute 19, 1 minute 20, 1 minute 21. What will it be for Tindo? It's a 1:22.161. Tindo goes quickest. It's the provisional pole position with just under 7.5 minutes of this session to go. Tindo looking almighty good. It wasn't the best of Sector 1s, but Sectors 2 and 3 were absolutely beautiful there by Tindo, who was under all the pressure, remember. He crashed out in Australia in the first playoff race. He missed last night's race in Australia, and he needs an absolute miracle tonight. He needs it all to go right for him here in Austria, and then he needs some other drivers to crash out or to not collect any points at all. Tindo, rock bottom of the playoff standings, 0 points. Man Ray, who is still in the pits, has 13 points. He's currently 5th. And then Billy Hendricks, has lost a wing. As you can see, no front wing there for the Red Bull, so needs to come all the way back into the pits to fit a brand new wing. So with 6.5 minutes of this session to go, Billy Hendricks has it all to do here, folks. And he's going to bring that car back into the garage and, fit on a new wing and hopefully get some new momentum, some new gusto, some new impetus to bring it back onto the track. The only driver currently out on track is the Ferrari of Tepiso. Tepiso, I would have you know, is currently top of the playoff standings on 40 points. So he is looking well and truly safe to maintain his seat in the top tier next season. Currently in P2 in the playoff standings is the Nucho, and Thiago Maestro is level on points with Billy Hendricks, both those drivers having collected 25 points each. So it's touch and go between Thiago and Billy Hendricks, and then Man Ray has 13 points, Tindo 0 points collected in this playoff series. That is how your table, your prospects are looking at this particular point in time. 5.5 minutes of this session to go. We'll hop back on board with the Ferrari of Tepiso. Crosses the line to begin a fresh attempt. Passes a slow-moving Red Bull coming out of the pits. That is the Nucho. But this is Tepiso taking turn 1. Takes a little bit of curve and rides turn 2 equally as comfortably as he did the initial corner. And there's a slow-moving car which is going to need to make way. It might be Thiago Maestro. He opens up the lines as Tepiso trying to get the entry into those corners. Oh no, but he's gone too far. And as you can see, track map is red. It's an invalidation at the end of Sector 1. Tepiso is going to have to lift off the throttle and, give it another go all the way from scratch. And with just under 5 minutes. Oh, Tepiso has an almighty spin. He sends it into the gravel. Perhaps too much throttle there. And, thankfully for him, did not hit any walls. He might have enough time to come all the way back into the pits. Perhaps fit a fresh set of tires. And then give it another go. As you can see, these tires are 3 laps old. The softest, fastest set of tires. Scripto Titan in the comment section, that is Galalat Sang, the 86er, says Tindo needs a win. And he needs to set the fastest lap of this race to collect that extra point. And, that will be the miracle that Tindo needs. He also needs a couple of these guys to crash out in the race itself. But, of course, with the stakes being so high, none of them will make it any easier. Remember, folks, as it stands, Tapiso, Venuccio, Thiago Maestro, and potentially Billy Hendricks. Those are the drivers that have the best shot of going through to Tier 1 next season. And we will see which of those can keep it together. Now, on board we go with Venuccio, who is coming towards the end of Sector 1. The driver who gave us some sensational entertainment last night versus Thiago Maestro. Here he comes now to complete Sector 1 with a 27.941. And let's see now whether or not his second and third sectors can be as good as the kind that Tindo put on. But he's lifting off the throttle here, trying carefully, desperately not to invalidate this lap. It is a fast-flowing circuit, but of course, does demand a lot of your car, does the Lusail International Circuit, as far as balance and downforce configurations are concerned. The Nuccio, battery power down to about 43% at this particular point in time. Nope, is coming back all the way back into the pits. And meanwhile, Thiago has crashed out, or has he? Thiago, is that a retirement in the pits? Thiago's car has crashed out of this session. Or is it a retirement in the pits? Does Thiago not necessarily rate that they can improve on their time? Thiago had a nightmare in quali in Austria last time out, and Thiago is out of qualifying with about 2 minutes of this session to go. We'll take no further parts. Thiago's best time was a 1 minute 22.749. But they are completely out of this year's session. Well. This is Man Ray on a build lap. Not quite ready to give it a go. Oh no! Load shedding. Billy Hendricks is also out. Been hit with load shedding at this particular point in time. So Billy Hendricks might not take any further part in this session. Which means Tindo has a huge opportunity here. Nothing less than a race win would do, because Billy Hendricks is on 25 points. But for now, let's see how Man Ray fares in what we can assume is his final push for pole position. Man Ray on the verge of completing Sector 1. What'll it be for the Mercedes driver? A 27.099. He's found improvements by 0.3 of a second. So looking decent is Man Ray. And that 0.3 of a second might send him close enough to give Tapiso a couple of headaches. And I would have you know that Tapiso in the Ferrari has already begun his final push lap. So it's now or never for all of these drivers, Man Ray, Tapiso, and Tindo, who will soon cross the line to begin their final push lap. Ooh, Man Ray has found almost 0.7 of a second come the end of Sector 2. Now, in the final sector of this track, Man Ray on the absolute limit, as you can see, toying with the track limits, but he's still kept it valid, still kept it a decent lap. 30 seconds to go to see how Man Ray will fare. Billy Hendricks is in the comment section saying the F1 gods do not want to see me in Tier 1. Here comes Man Ray for the final time. Man Ray is on provisional pole position. A 1 minute 22.013 is the quickest time that we've seen today. Man Ray with a sensational push. A beautiful Sector 2 and 3 of this lap has seen the Mercedes driver top the timesheets. But what about Tindo? What about Tapiso? Tapiso will be next. He's found about half a second worth of improvement, and it's looking like it may yet be tighter towards the end of this session. He was on the limit, was Tapiso. Here he comes now, blasting down the main straight towards the line. What can the Ferrari driver do? The answer is, oh no, not quite enough to improve on that time. Tindo has abandoned that. So Man Ray will start this race in pole position, being cheered on by Mandla in the comment section. Man Ray will start this race in P1. Tindo will start alongside him in the front row off the grid. Billy Hendricks will start this race in P3, third spot. Tapiso will start the race in P4. Thiago Maestro has to settle for P5. Venuccio could not set a representative lap, will start from the back of the pack. The 86er in the comment section says, what a lap by Man Ray. Man Ray grabbing pole position in Qatar. It's another headline qualifying by Man Ray, who some of you veteran watchers or viewers of BrakeAway Racing League may remember the absolute sensational pole lap that Man Ray set in Imola in the second race of that playoff series. It was such a long time ago, but Man Ray has done it again. It's a rabbit out of the hat by the Mercedes driver. 122.013 is the fastest lap, and Man Ray will start in P1. Beautiful stuff by the Mercedes driver for today. Remember, folks, that the Tier 2 playoffs are taking place concurrently. If you click on our channel icon, you can catch up with Zotal, who is taking care of proceedings there. Tier 2 playoffs, we will get a sense of just how well those guys are faring. If you click on our channel icon, please remember to like the stream if you have not done so already. Subscribe to our channel if you're a brand new viewer of the BrakeAway Racing League. And, well, I tell you what, we could serve up some fantastic playoff action here today. Tapiso, Billy Hendricks, Nuccio, Thiago Maestro, Man Ray, Tindo gave us some almighty entertainment this week throughout this entire playoff series. We will see how much more they will be serving up. Tapiso says Nuccio and Thiago are competing for last to first competition. SMH, says Tapiso. Do not count Tapiso out. He is a fierce competitor, as we've noted in recent times. He will not go down without a fight. It's Thursday action night. Tier 1 action from Qatar coming right up. Thank you for joining us. We should be set for some sensationally entertaining action. Please like the stream if you have not done so already. And, well, stay tuned to the action taking place concurrently in Tier 2 as well, if you click on our channel icon. Tapiso, Man Ray, Tindo, Thiago on the verge of serving up some beautiful entertainment. Thiago says, you know what? Let us make it nothing less than interesting. And, well, if last night's entertainment is anything to go by, Tier 1 race in Qatar was very entertaining. Don Rabico versus Mercurial Caesar versus Smirch Django versus Zotal versus Mandla versus Man Ray versus Tindo versus all of the Tier 1 contingent. I'm not sure if Grimjaw had joined Tier 1 by then, but it was beautiful stuff. All of the action coming up in a matter of seconds now, as we get a view of some of the folks who have got, well, we're seeing their arms there, the folks who have got those, well, paddock club seats. Taking a look at the F1 paddock. All right, here we go, folks. It's 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. It's the only time South Africans look forward to the lights going out. We're racing in Qatar. Man Ray from Tindo, who will have the line towards turn 1. Oh, it looks like Thiago Maestro had a huge moment. He falls behind in the McLaren behind. He's now down to P6. Man Ray hangs on to that P1 spot. Tindo hanging on to his coattails. Oh, there's contact in the midfield. It looks like Thiago crashed with Tapiso. He gets a 5-second time penalty, as does Tapiso. Contact between those two cars brings out the virtual safety car very early on here. So perhaps Thiago Maestro too eager, too anxious, crashing with the Ferrari there, costing both of those drivers to get 5-second time penalties. That'll cost them dearly when they come into the pits. Later on in this race, it's an early virtual safety car. That means, of course, racing has been suspended. The drivers have to follow each other and reduce their speeds and make sure that they do not go too fast as far as the race times or the race delta is concerned. But look at that. Nuccio gaining 3 places, courtesy of Tapiso and Thiago crashing early on over there. And Billy Hendricks, sadly, will take no further part in this session. It's the ghost of Billy Hendricks that we're watching, courtesy of his load-shedding situation. So it's going to be the Nuccio versus Tapiso versus Thiago when this race is resumed. When the virtual safety car ends, it looks like Tapiso's wing is still intact. What about Thiago? Oh no, he's lost that front wing, so Thiago is going to have to come straight into the pits immediately. It's going to be a day of playing catch-up for Thiago Maestro, who had problems coming off the line. But I tell you what, The track is green. Racing has been enabled once again. And Tapiso goes on the attack versus the Nuccio on the inside through the exit of the final corner. Will they go wheel to wheel, side by side? On board we go with the Ferrari driver. Meanwhile, Tindo has lost 2 places since the start of this race. Man Ray is leading, proceeding, the fastest driver, fastest lap thus far. Thank you for joining us. If you just joined, so you've joined us just in time to join the second lap of a total 29 out here at the Lusail International Circuit. Tapiso hunting down the Nuccio, and behind him, of course, is Tindo, who is looking to apply all of the pressure. And as you can see, Tapiso is so close to the back of the Nuccio, ahead of the action over here. Billy Hendricks is, of course, ghosted, and Thiago Maestro had to come into the pits much earlier. Tapiso on the attack, thinking about it versus the Red Bull, but not quite close enough to go for it. Meanwhile, as he fights, Man Ray is absolutely gone. Look at that, Tapiso on the outside of the Nuccio. And yes, he's got it done. Tapiso now up to P2. The Nuccio has to bide his time and hope to reclaim that spot. The Nuccio nowhere near as comfortable in Qatar as he was in Austria last night. Nuccio struggling, and as you can see, the tire situation, Man Ray gambling. Man Ray started this race on the soft tires. It's so long that this race has to go for. Man Ray is going for a completely alternate tire strategy. Meanwhile, Tapiso and Nuccio are on the slowest hard tire compounds. Tindo has opted for medium tires at this stage of this race as the first tire stint. Mandla says, man, oh man, what a good race thus far. It's early days, Mandla, but we have some fantastic action. I tell you what, it is Tindo. Oh, so close to the back of the Red Bull on the inside, down the main straight. It's wheel-to-wheel action early on. It's Tindo versus the Nuccio. Wheel-to-wheel, there go Tindo using that battery power. Who has the better straight line speed? It's wheel-to-wheel, side by side, but looks like Nuccio tries, he cannot compete with the pace of Tindo, who now ekes up a spot, and it's up to P3 for Tindo. Nuccio not quite having the time of his life early on in the early stages of this race, and Man Ray is absolutely gone. He's about 2.5 seconds down the road with 3 laps gone of a total 29. The Nuccio, we're on board with them over here. It's position 4. Not quite the best of starts, and he's going to have to put on an almighty recovery lap at this particular point of the race. Thank you for joining us. It is the playoff finale, and it is very high stakes. Tindo needs nothing less than a win and a fastest lap to be able to overtake Billy Hendricks comprehensively, considering all of the missed opportunities over here. The 86er says, I'm cheering for the underdog. Come on, Tindo. Go, Tindo. Let's see what you can do. On board we go with the Alpine driver. It's Tindo versus Tapiso. It's the veteran Tier 1 drivers who are looking to make sure that the would-be contenders in the top tier do not claim or snatch their race seats for next season. Tindo is less than half a second behind the Ferrari. Here they come now towards the final corner of this here track. Yellow flags. Oh no! Who is that? It's Man Ray! What the heck happened to Man Ray? He might have had a huge spin. He was in the lead of the race, but Man Ray has absolutely surrendered the lead of this race. He spun out, did Man Ray? He was leading. Oh, Man Ray got his grip on. Meanwhile, Tindo has overtaken Tapiso. It's all going down here. Tindo is the new leader of this race. We can barely keep up with the action. Tindo is now up to P1, or is he? Tapiso is fighting him back through wheel to wheel, side by side. And they almost make sensational contact, but Tindo backs off over there. As you can see, some of you barely believing what Man Ray is doing. Mandro says Man Ray has absolutely fumbled up the lead. Oh, Tindo almost crashes into the back of the Ferrari. As you can see, he has to slam the brakes to Tindo, almost crashing into the back of Tapiso and potentially losing his wing. Definitely Duke says just when Tindo needed a win, Man Ray spins, so it is advantage Tindo, potentially here considering Tapiso's 5-second time penalty at this early stage of this race. We don't know, of course, whether or not Tapiso will manage to convince the stewards to take away that time penalty. Oh no, we might be having lobby issues here because it's Mike rating host over here, folks. Thiago Maestro has left the session. What in the world is going on? I do hope that you're still with us here, folks. Oh no! It looks like we're still in this lobby, but we've completely lost it. What in the world is going on? Well. Our connection is still live, still stable, but we've absolutely lost the connection to the lobby. I don't know if it's kicked us out or only us. So bear with us, folks. We're just going to make sure that we can get back into the action. I do hope that the other drivers are still having valid sessions. All right, folks, we're going to try and make sure that we reconnect and get back into the action. I do hope, folks, that it's nothing less. I do hope that it's nothing less than a case of just us getting bounced from the lobby and that we could just rejoin the action. All right, Tindo's invitation to the lobby, not quite on. All right, folks, we're just going to make sure that we rejoin the action as soon as we possibly can. One moment. Yo, Tindo, did your lobby also crash? Yo, Tindo, can you hear me?
Yeah, my lobby crashed, bro. Hey, yes, I don't know.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
We might need to then just end the stream. Sorry, folks. We're going to try and get back as soon as we possibly can. Okay, sorry, bro. I'm just getting a call from